Ever wondered where beauty, lifestyle, and pure inspiration meet? In today's video, Top 10 Most Beautiful City to Live in the USA, we're exploring stunning American destinations that look like they've been lifted straight out of a movie scene. Yet people actually live there. From breathtaking coastlines to charming streets that feel frozen in time, these cities prove that beauty in America isn't just about landmarks. It's about living somewhere that makes every day feel extraordinary. Some are peaceful and affordable, others are vibrant and full of energy, but all have one thing in common. You'll wish you lived there. Stick around till the very end, because the number one city on this list might completely change how you picture beautiful living in the USA. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Mr. Globe for more jaw-dropping travel and lifestyle rankings every week. Number 10. Malibu, California, where the ocean meets luxury. If you've ever wondered what it's like to live inside a postcard, Malibu's your answer. Only this one comes with billion-dollar cliffs and ocean waves that probably have their own real estate agents. Stretching along 21 miles of Pacific coastline, Malibu isn't just beautiful, it's cinematic. Every sunrise here feels directed by Spielberg, and every drive along the Pacific Coast Highway could double as an ad for convertibles and good life choices. But Malibu isn't just for movie stars and Instagram influencers pretending to live simply. Beneath the glamour lies a real coastal community, a place where surfboards share garages with Teslas and locals grab organic smoothies before their morning paddle. It's the rare city where luxury and laid-back vibes manage to coexist without canceling each other out. Real talk, though, living here comes with its own dramatic plot twists. The cliffs are breathtaking, but they're also slowly eroding. The Pacific views, stunning, and occasionally threatening when wildfires or rising sea levels show up uninvited. Malibu has mastered the art of balancing natural beauty with natural risk, an ongoing tug-of-war between paradise and practicality. And while most people only know the famous Zuma Beach or Malibu Pier, the real magic hides in its lesser-known coves. El Matador, Point Dome, and little tide pools where you'll find more starfish than tourists. It's those quiet corners that remind you Malibu's beauty isn't just surface level. It's soulful, raw, and surprisingly down-to-earth. Yes, the home prices might make your wallet faint. Median listings can hover well into the millions, but you can't put a price on those sunsets that look painted just for you. Malibu isn't just a place to live, it's a place to feel alive. So if your dream home includes ocean mist, dramatic cliffs, and maybe a few celebrity neighbors who jog past pretending not to notice you, Malibu might just be your slice of coastal perfection. Number 9. Sedona, Arizona, nature's cathedral of red rock. If the earth had a screensaver, it would probably look like Sedona. This desert gem in northern Arizona is so visually stunning, it's hard to tell where nature ends and the divine begins. Those massive red rock formations, they don't just sit there, they glow. At sunrise, they catch fire in the light. At sunset, they cool into deep crimson and gold, like the sky itself is applauding. Sedona is the kind of place that makes even non-believers whisper, "Okay, maybe energy vortexes are a thing." Yep, it's famous for those mysterious vortexes, spots said to radiate healing energy. Whether you're a skeptic or a crystal collector, there's something undeniably magnetic about this landscape. Locals swear you can feel the peace in the air, and honestly, even if it's just good oxygen and silence, who's complaining? But beyond the spiritual buzz, Sedona's beauty is practical too. The city has strict zoning laws that make every building blend into the land. No glass skyscrapers, no neon chaos. Homes and shops wear desert tones like a dress code: russet, sand, and sage. Even downtown looks like it grew right out of the canyon floor. It's one of the few places in America where you can grab a latte, look up, and see a cathedral made of rock, courtesy of Mother Nature herself. And yes, Sedona surprises in winter. When those red monoliths dust over with snow, it's like Mars met Narnia. The air turns crisp, the trails quiet down, and you realize beauty here isn't seasonal, it's constant. Of course, all that splendor comes with a price tag. Median home values hover around the $900,000 mark, but the payoff is waking up to views that make your phone camera look like it's in love. Sedona isn't for everyone, but that's part of its charm. It's not loud, it's not fast, and it definitely doesn't need to prove itself. It just stands there. Timeless, glowing, and completely unapologetic about being one of the most beautiful places to live in the USA. Number 8. Santa Fe, New Mexico, the city that looks hand-painted by the sun. If you've ever wanted to live inside a painting, Santa Fe might be your spot. And not one of those mass-produced motel paintings either. We're talking full-blown masterpiece. Nestled at about 7,000 feet above sea level, this desert beauty glows beneath an endless blue sky, framed by the Sangre de Cristo Mountains that look like they were photoshopped by nature herself. Forget skyscrapers. Santa Fe doesn't do glass towers or steel egos. City ordinances actually ban high-rises, keeping everything grounded in its signature warm clay adobe style. The result? A skyline that looks exactly like it did a century ago. Timeless, earthy, and easy on the eyes. When the afternoon sun hits those adobe walls, the entire city blushes a golden orange that makes you instinctively reach for your camera, or just stand there, stunned, holding your iced coffee. But Santa Fe isn't just pretty, it's deeply artistic. It's home to one of the highest concentrations of artists per capita in the country. Painters, sculptors, writers, and dreamers have been flocking here for decades, drawn by the mystical light and peaceful pace. Even the air feels creative, crisp, thin, and humming with possibility. Locals joke that oxygen here comes with a side of inspiration. And let's talk culture, because few places in America weave so many histories together this gracefully. Native American, Spanish, Mexican, and Anglo influences all collide here, not in conflict, but in conversation. You'll taste it in the food, green chili everything, hear it in the music, and see it in the markets where handcrafted jewelry shares space with modern art installations. Yes, the cost of living runs higher than you'd expect for a desert town. Homes often hover around $700,000, but Santa Fe rewards you with sunsets that look like the sky is auditioning for an art exhibit. It's quiet, cultured, and a little quirky, the kind of place where neighbors debate brush techniques over coffee. Santa Fe isn't trying to impress anyone, and that's exactly why it does. Number 7. Boston, Massachusetts, where history wears a fresh coat of paint. It's one of America's oldest cities, but somehow it never feels old. Boston has that rare magic of being both a museum and a living, breathing city. It's where cobblestone streets meet cutting-edge innovation, where you can walk past a 300-year-old church and end up at a sleek waterfront tech hub 10 minutes later. Only Boston can make colonial charm and biotech billionaires coexist without looking confused. If cities had personalities, Boston would be that polished intellectual who still jogs in the rain and argues about baseball with complete strangers. It's cultured but gritty, historic but hip. From the brick sidewalks of Beacon Hill to the gleaming glass of the seaport, the city balances tradition and progress like a gymnast who just happens to have a PhD. And talk about a city that knows how to dress for the seasons. Boston wears all four like a fashion show. Spring brings tulips and cafe patios, summer fills the esplanade with runners and sailboats, fall paints the trees in fiery reds and oranges, as if New England's showing off again. And winter reminds you that shoveling is still a thing. But even covered in snow, Boston somehow looks like it belongs on a Christmas card. Every corner feels like a story waiting to be told. The Freedom Trail winds you through the nation's history, while the Boston Common, America's oldest public park, gives you a front-row seat to city life. And just when you think it's all old bricks and bookshops, the skyline glitters with sleek towers that whisper, "We invented tomorrow too." Of course, beauty comes at a price. Median home values hover around $800,000, and parking spots cost more than some used cars. But hey, you're not paying for space, you're paying for soul. Boston is proof that a city doesn't need palm trees or skylines of glass to be stunning. It just needs history, heart, and the kind of energy that makes you feel smarter just for walking around. Number 6. New Orleans, Louisiana, the city that dances through every storm. There's no place else in America where beauty and resilience intertwine like this. New Orleans isn't just a city, it's a living, breathing mood. Every street corner tells a story, and most come with a jazz soundtrack that no Bluetooth speaker could ever compete with. It's a place where architecture, food, and music don't just coexist. They flirt, dance, and occasionally get married after a good parade. You know you're in New Orleans when you walk down a block and see French balconies draped in flowers, pastel-painted homes glowing under gas lamps, and the faint sound of a trumpet echoing through humid night air. It's romantic, it's chaotic, and it's unapologetically itself, like that eccentric aunt who tells wild stories at family reunions but somehow makes you love her more each time. Architectural beauty meets soulful chaos here. The French Quarter's ironwork balconies, the Garden District's stately mansions, and the colorful shotgun houses each add to the city's layered charm. Even the imperfections, the cracked sidewalks, the leaning shutters, the faint smell of beignets in the morning, somehow make it more real. And then there's the resilience. After hurricanes, floods, and more than a few political storms, New Orleans doesn't just rebuild. It redefines. The culture here doesn't break. It bends into something even stronger, even more musical. You can feel it in the people, in their laughter, their generosity, and their insistence that life's too short not to dance. Sure, it has its challenges. Humidity thick enough to chew, potholes that could swallow your car, and a housing market that's recovering but resilient. Yet the reward? Living in a city that feels alive in ways most places can only dream of. New Orleans reminds us that beauty isn't always polished. Sometimes it's soulful, stubborn, and soaked in jazz. And hey, we're halfway through our countdown. If you've been enjoying the ride so far, thank you for watching and supporting Mr. Globe. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you don't miss the rest of this journey through America's most beautiful cities. Trust me, the next 5 are going to surprise you. Number 5. Honolulu, Hawaii, where paradise learns time management. If you think paradise can't be practical, Honolulu might change your mind. This is one of those rare places where you can sip your morning coffee while watching surfers catch waves and still make it to your 9 a.m. Zoom call without breaking a sweat. Honolulu is proof that island life and real life don't have to be opposites. Here, they're partners with great chemistry. Wake up in this city, and you're instantly reminded that nature isn't just a backdrop. It's part of the daily routine. Ocean breezes, palm trees swaying like they're in a perpetual vacation ad, and volcanic mountains standing guard in the distance, all in one frame. You can literally go from a boardroom to a beach in 10 minutes. And yes, people really do leave surfboards next to their office desks here. But Honolulu isn't just about sunsets and aloha shirts. It's a modern capital wrapped in a tropical dream. Sleek high-rises, gourmet restaurants, and vibrant nightlife coexist with ancient culture, island traditions, and that unmistakable Hawaiian warmth. Locals blend Hawaiian, Japanese, and American influences so naturally that the city feels like a mini-world. Multicultural harmony in flip-flops. Economically, Honolulu ranks as one of the most desirable and yes, expensive cities to live in. Median home prices hover around $900,000, and the cost of living can be higher than your tan line. But in return, you get world-class healthcare, safety, and a lifestyle that constantly whispers, you're exactly where you should be. And let's talk beauty. The turquoise waters of Waikiki, the volcanic silhouette of Diamond Head, and the tropical greenery that bursts from every direction. It's almost unfair how effortlessly good-looking this city is. Even its rain showers show up for dramatic effect, usually followed by a rainbow like nature's apology. Honolulu proves that paradise isn't just for vacations. Some people actually call it home. It's where peace meets productivity, and the line between working and living starts to blur in the best possible way. So if your dream of a beautiful life includes palm trees, sunsets, and the occasional Zoom call with a view, Honolulu might just be your kind of paradise. Number 4. Seattle, Washington, where the rain writes its own postcard. They say it rains a lot, but that's what keeps it this green, this fresh, and this alive. Seattle is one of those cities that doesn't try to impress you. It just opens the curtains and lets the view do the talking. Sitting gracefully between Puget Sound and Lake Washington, and framed by the snow-capped drama of Mount Rainier, Seattle looks less like a city and more like a perfectly composed photograph someone accidentally left running in 4K. It's a place where the skyline reflects on glassy water, ferries glide like lazy swans, and even the mist feels poetic. Or maybe that's just the caffeine talking. And yes, there's a lot of that here too. Seattle is the birthplace of Starbucks and a haven for coffee lovers who consider espresso a personality trait. You can practically measure time in cappuccinos. But beneath that moody, misty beauty, Seattle has substance. It's a powerhouse of innovation, home to tech giants like Amazon and Microsoft, yet it manages to feel cozy and creative instead of corporate. Tech geniuses, artists, and musicians walk the same rainy streets, sharing inspiration and umbrellas. It's where ideas are brewed as much as the coffee. And despite its rep for drizzle, Seattle's climate is surprisingly mild. Summers are clear, green, and gorgeous. Locals take to the water, kayaking between houseboats on Lake Union or hopping ferries to nearby islands that look like they were stolen from a storybook. When the sun shows up, the city practically glows with joy, and every park, pier, and patio bursts to life like an over-caffeinated garden. Of course, living here isn't cheap. Median home prices hover around $850,000. But you're not just paying for a home, you're buying daily front-row seats to nature's drama. Few cities manage to feel this alive, this balanced, this cinematic. Seattle isn't for everyone. If you need endless sunshine, keep scrolling. But if you crave creativity, community, and a skyline that always looks freshly washed, welcome to the Emerald City. It rains here, sure, but that's what makes it shine. Number 3. Savannah, Georgia, where beauty never retires. It's so beautiful, even the ghosts refuse to leave. Savannah isn't just one of America's most beautiful cities, it's one of its most bewitching. This southern gem is like walking through a living postcard dipped in history, charm, and a little bit of mystery. Spanish moss hangs from ancient oak trees like nature's chandelier, filtering the sunlight into that soft, golden glow photographers chase, but never quite capture. The city's design alone is genius. 22 lush green squares woven into its historic grid, creating a rhythm that makes every stroll feel like a slow dance. One moment you're passing a fountain, the next you're standing before a 200-year-old mansion with wrought iron balconies that could tell stories if they weren't too polite to gossip. It's one of the most walkable cities in the country, but honestly, you'll stop every 5 steps just to stare. Savannah isn't loud about its beauty. It whispers it through cobblestones, gardens, and architecture that somehow survived wars, fires, and time itself. It's where old-world elegance meets southern hospitality. Locals smile like they have nowhere better to be, and they probably don't. The air smells faintly of magnolias and mystery, and if you feel like you're on a movie set, that's because dozens have been filmed here. And then, of course, there's the ghost factor. This city is famous for being one of the most haunted in America. And really, who could blame the spirits for sticking around? If I had a mansion overlooking Forsyth Park, I'd linger too. Savannah's haunted tales aren't creepy. They're charming, adding another layer to a place already rich with stories. Beyond the romance and legends, Savannah is actually an affordable dream. Median home prices hover around $320,000, shockingly reasonable for a city this stunning. And the pace of life? Unhurried, graceful, like a Sunday that never ends. Savannah doesn't just show you beauty, it lets you live inside it. Every breeze through the moss, every porch swing creak, every ghost story told under the moon reminds you, this isn't just a city. It's a feeling. Number 2. Charleston, South Carolina, where time takes the scenic route. This city proves you don't need skyscrapers to reach breathtaking heights. Charleston, South Carolina, is living proof that beauty doesn't always shout. Sometimes it just smiles politely, hands you a glass of sweet tea, and lets the charm do the talking. Picture this: pastel-colored houses lined up like they're posing for an oil painting, cobblestone streets that look too perfect to be real, and church steeples that rise gracefully into the skyline. Because here, by law, nothing can be built taller than them. That's not just tradition. That's architectural confidence. Charleston doesn't compete with the sky, it complements it. Every step feels like walking through a living museum that decided history doesn't have to be boring. The air smells like magnolias and ocean breeze, and the city seems to hum with quiet grace. Whether you're wandering the historic district, strolling along Rainbow Row, or watching sailboats drift past the Battery, Charleston feels like the kind of place where stress goes to retire. It's romantic, walkable, and endlessly photogenic, a city made for both honeymooners and historians. And let's talk about the food. because Charleston might secretly be running a campaign to win Best Culinary Capital of the South. From shrimp and grits that taste like comfort reincarnated to Michelin-level restaurants serving dishes that look too good to eat, but you'll do it anyway, this city knows how to feed both the body and the soul. Of course, charm comes with a price. Median home values hover around $700,000, and summer humidity can feel like stepping into a hot yoga fully clothed. But it's worth it for those golden sunsets over the harbor and those nights when jazz drifts through open windows like a love song from another era. Charleston is more than just beautiful, it's graceful. A rare city that makes time slow down without ever feeling sleepy. It's where the past and present hold hands and stroll the waterfront together, unbothered, unhurried, and impossibly elegant. So if you're looking for a city that defines Southern beauty, refined, warm, and effortlessly timeless, Charleston doesn't just make the list, it owns it. Number 1. San Francisco, California, the city of 1,000 views. It's the city of 1,000 views, and not one of them looks the same twice. San Francisco doesn't just sit on the map, it performs on it. A skyline carved by hills, fog, and bridges, this is a city that refuses to blend in. Every curve of its landscape, every roll of mist feels like nature and architecture are locked in a friendly competition to outdo each other. Golden Gate sunsets that stop traffic, literally. Cable cars climbing streets so steep they make your Fitbit nervous. And neighborhoods that feel like separate worlds stitched together by charm and chaos. You can sip espresso in an Italian cafe in North Beach, browse art in the Mission, admire Victorian homes in Pacific Heights, and end your night staring at the skyline from Twin Peaks wondering, do people really get to live here? They do. Though it's not cheap, the median home price in San Francisco is north of $1.3 million, making beauty here something you might need a mortgage and a miracle for. But residents will tell you, it's worth every penny for the views, the culture, and the sense that the city itself is alive, dramatic, unpredictable, and breathtakingly original. It's chaotic, colorful, and creative. A city where the fog has a name, Carl, street art doubles as social commentary, and every neighborhood hums to its own rhythm. It's the kind of place that makes you believe beauty doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be real. So here we are, number 1 on our list, and what a journey it's been. From red rocks to riverfronts, from historic squares to tropical shores, America's beauty wears many faces. But San Francisco? It's the one that never stops surprising you. Thank you for joining us through this countdown of the top 10 most beautiful cities to live in the USA. If you made it this far, you're officially part of the Mr. Globe community. Curious, adventurous, and full of wanderlust. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below. Which city stole your heart? And where would you love to live next? Until next time, keep exploring because the world's most beautiful places are closer than you think.